Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn, wherever you find yourself. Welcome to another episode of IoT Tuesday. Yeah, we've been on break for a while, but that's not a big deal. The most important thing is we're back online. In today's episode, I will be showing you how to connect your Vio terminal to the cloud, specifically the Microsoft cloud, and in specific context, IoT Central. If this seems like something that's interesting to you, stick and stay. When we come back from our montage, we're going to get straight into it. So we will be right back. Welcome back, the show that demystifies IoT in the simplest form. This is the IoT Tuesday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever, wherever you find yourself. Welcome again to the IoT Tuesday show. If this is your first time, I'm sure probably someone introduced the show to you. Probably actually go check this out. Please, please, please do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. As I always say, sorry, YouTube has changed a couple of things in its policies. I need to hit 1,000 subscribers to be able to do a lot of the live stream. So please, 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 my first wish, my first ask of you is if you like the show, if you want to learn more about the show, please here, okay, just subscribe. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that anytime I drop any videos, you're going to get it. Now, like I mentioned, we're working, almost wrapping up with a new channel called Let's Experiment. That's where you're going to see me do a lot of experiment on things, from IoT to tech to non-tech related things. So to keep you informed, make sure that you're hitting that, that subscribe button and joining us. Welcome to everyone joining us from Twitter, from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitch. Just, drop a hi in the chat and I would do well to, acknowledge you and welcome you to the show. Now, the second thing, as you all know, before we get into the show, I like to talk about a few things before we get wrapping. The next thing I want to talk about is Tech on Wheels. We are almost there, wrapping up, getting ready for Tech on Wheels. And if you don't know what Tech on Wheels is, it's my social project where I take technology to the deprived areas or deprived people in the country. So literally, the end goal is we're trying to put together a mobile lab fitted with, robotics kits, IoT kits, programming kits, laptops, 3D printers, pretty much anything tech that someone in a deprived area wouldn't have been exposed to. We're taking this to them. So if you want to support it, just hit me up on any of my social media handles there, and I'll be really glad to connect with you and share more information about that for you. Well, today a couple of things I want to share with you. Um, some announcements in the Azure IoT ecosystem. If you've been following me for a while now, you realize that we use a lot of Azure IoT to do some of the things we're doing. So let's switch to our view. Let me bring this up so we can talk about them. The first of it I want to talk about is the Azure IoT SDK. Now, if you are someone who likes to develop and put stuff in your, in your code base, the Azure IoT SDK allows you to, incorporate almost everything under the Microsoft IoT services, Azure IoT services into your application. So we have SDKs available. You can see from the bottom of the screen here, there are SDKs available for C, for Python, for Node. there's a .NET reference one, and there's a Java one as well. So if you want to be bare bone, the Azure SDK is there for you to make use of. Make sure that you're checking this out. I'm actually going to drop the link right here in the chat so you can go check that out. Welcome to everyone joining from the stream. The second thing I want to share with you today is July IoT or July OT 2021. It's actually 31 days of IoT content for everyone, and this is where you're going to have like a lot of Microsoft IoT Cloud advocacy team sharing content, put together by IoT enthusiasts from around the world. I'm trying to put some submission in there myself, so you might see content coming from myself. And pretty much it's just a space for you to go grab content the whole of July to learn IoT if that's something of interest to you. So it's going to start from 1st July. So the first 2 days, there's going to be the content kickoff. Actually, let me bring this a bit. Let me bring the schedule in scope so you can see that. So the very first 2 days, we're going to be talking about, you're going to see the July OT content kickoff and then 5th to 9th is going to be artificial intelligence at the edge. So if you want to learn that, this is an awesome period for you to do that. And then July 12th to 16th will be more for beginners, students, teachers, and makers, content that will allow you to, explore and create stuff. And then from July 19th to 23rd will be more on microcontrollers, embedded hardware. And then from July 26th to 30th will be online learning and certification. This is a good time for you to, tell yourself, okay, after July IoT or July OT, I want to get certified. So, do that. Schedule a certification exams. I will, after July, go through the process of learning new stuff, and hey, get certified. So that is the second thing I want to get out of the way. Now, there's a very interesting project I want you to go check out. If you're interested in IoT and IoT of the future, 88 Acres is a project that tells you how Microsoft actually built an entire city of the future using IoT and smart technology. I'm also going to I'm dropping the link here in the chat as well. You can go check that out. It's actually going to tell you how Microsoft did it. So you can go check that out and then see how do you call it, how Microsoft did it. All right. So pretty much interesting. Pretty much interesting how Microsoft did. So go check that out, and then you're going to learn a lot of things. So that's the couple of things I also want to get out of the way. Well, so back to me. So in today's episode, like I mentioned, if you've been following us, we've been talking and dealing with Wheel Terminal. We've been using that. We started from setting it up, from connecting it to we did the I/O, which is connecting stuff to it. We also did display, how to display stuff on it. Today we're taking it to the next level. You don't just have to get the device, connect sensors, and read the data. How do we send this data to the cloud? All right, and make meaning out of it, or make some do some insights or create some solutions out of it. So today, um uh yep, so today what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to a couple of concepts. All right, we're going to do a couple of concepts. You're going to learn about Azure IoT. If you're a regular on this show and you don't know what Azure IoT is, then go check out my previous episodes. I've gone through that to show what it is. So we're going to talk a little bit about Azure IoT. We're going to talk about it's going to entail Azure IoT Central. All right, it's also going to entail Azure IoT Plug and Play. We're going to look at some of the Azure Plug and Play certified devices, of which the Wheel Terminal is part. Then I'll probably make mention of digital twins definition language. We'll talk about some MQTT things, and then we'll get into it. So I'm just going to start. Okay, you know that we use. Well, I mentioned Microsoft Azure as the cloud platform we're going to use. So that's pretty much an awesome platform. If you don't know, go check that out. But as you know, Microsoft Azure IoT is a collection, okay, of Microsoft managed cloud services that allows you to connect, control, monitor billions of IoT assets. All right, it has things like security operating system for the devices that is equipped along with data analytics. Pretty much gives you all that package for you to run your IoT infrastructure in the cloud. All right, so right from your things to insight to the actions you perform on it. Microsoft Azure IoT is kind of like the, that high level collection of services that help you to do that. Now, don't forget, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat and I will respond. My control panel is here, so I keep looking at the side. But if you have any questions for me, you can just type it in there, whether you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, I would respond to that accordingly. Yeah, so that's Microsoft IoT. Now, considering that Azure IoT is a collection of services. Now, just as Microsoft does, what they do is that if you are in the business of, you want a quick SaaS solution or software as a service solution that allows you. Actually, I have let's do this. All right, let me bring this to the view so I can share this with you. So let's go into our production flow and then show images. Yeah, let me show this very first one. Okay, oh, there we go. What? It's saying that. Okay, so you know what? Let's see if I can open this with something else. That is strange. Let's try Paint. Can you believe that? Can you believe that Paint actually opened the application and the other softwares that you think are meant for it, we're not able to open. Okay, anyway, cool. So this is the Azure IoT. All right, so you can see. Let me zoom up a bit. So from the physical, for the things, which is your physical object of things, industrial equipment, and all that, bringing them into inside gathering sorry onto the cloud, gathering insight, analytics, machine learning, and all that, and then acting upon it. If you're familiar with any of the IoT kind of like ecosystem, these are the common kind of like high level like patterns you go through, the things, the insights, and the actions. So you have the things connected, get the data to analyze and get some insights, and when you have those insights, what do you want to do? You perform some actions on them. All right, so pretty much that's for Azure IoT. All right. Now the next thing is Azure IoT Central. Right. So Azure IoT is a collection of managed services. Azure IoT Central is actually a fully managed global IoT SaaS, which is software as a service solution. So let's take an example. If you want to rapidly develop some IoT solution and you don't have time to go pick, let's say I need Azure IoT Hub, I need Event Grid, I need some storage, I need some stuff like that. Azure IoT Central is your SaaS solution where you can just plug in your solution, okay, plug your devices, your solutions into the Azure IoT cloud, and then boom, it's working for you. A bunch of easy drag and drop tiles to create setting metrics you want to see and stuff like that. Define the capabilities of your devices and you go. So Azure IoT Central, right, is a fully managed service. Okay, that makes it easy for you to just connect, monitor, and manage your IoT assets. And at scale, one thing you need to be aware of, it's highly secure and scales with your business. Okay, it's pretty rapid. Now, a couple of things that make this possible is what we call the Azure IoT plug and play, right? So it enables like people like us or solution providers or builders that want to integrate kind of like their smart devices into their own solution without having to do a lot of the manual configuration. Azure IoT plug and play handles that for you. So what happens is that it's kind of like a device model. So I'll take you to the bench right now to see our real stamina. So let's say if you take your device, you define the capability of your device or the model of your device in terms of the data it provides and the commands you can send to the device, all right? And then this whole thing in terms of properties, telemetry or commands are actually put together to create kind of like the model for that device. And then this device is then stored in a repo that allows Azure IoT Central to go figure out, once you provide a device ID, IoT Central can go figure out and say, oh, okay, this device can give me in terms of properties, humidity, temperature, blah, blah, blah. And then this is the telemetry I sent to it. And then these are the commands I can send to that. All right. So that's what Azure IoT plug and play allows you to do. Kind of like it's a rapid way of connecting what we call the certified devices. So that takes me to the talk on what Azure certified devices are. All right. So Azure certified plug and play devices are just devices that have gone through the the requirements and the testing and making sure that they meet certain criteria. But a key part of it is that before it's classified as certified, all right, the manufacturer or whoever is providing that device to be Azure compatible or certified, you need to provide what we call the digital twins definition language to model. And this is simply telling us that, oh, for this my device, these are the properties, this is the telemetry, this is the commands that this device can interact with. So this is actually stored in a repository. I think I have the repo as well. So let me show you how uh, that works. Looks like we have to go back into Paint. This is interesting. So let me take you back there and show you this. So this is how it works. So as a developer, you're going to publish the device model to this model repository, all right? And then that is where IoT plug and play the model repository. You're going to publish it here. So now, if a new device you want to rapidly connect new devices to Azure IoT Central, you're going to connect the device to IoT Central based on the model ID. IoT Central is going to go into the plug and play model repository and pull the definition for that device. And once it has that definition for the device, it's going to go into IoT Central and then give you that automatic configuration and out of the box experience of setting it up and getting the features and properties you want. So that is how it works. All right. And with this, we are going to use MQTT. All right. MQTT is going to be the protocol and the communication we're going to use to connect our Wheels terminal to the Azure IoT Central. So we want to see something like this. Let me share this with you before we go in and get our hands dirty. Dirty. So this is what we're going to do. This is what we want to use. We want to use the Wheels terminal as a client. Okay, collect some data point from it, and then send that to Azure IoT Central. That's what we want to do using MQTT, and then also the plug and play and device configuration. All right, cool. So let's get into that. And at this point, if you have any questions, don't hesitate, to ask me the questions. So to do that, let me take you to the bench so you can see. We have it set up here. And I think if I go ahead and connect, and we connect it, I think we've done a couple of things with this. So if you go to our, if you subscribe to the channel, hey, Mami Ikia, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. I will try as much as possible to answer them for you. We're talking about IoT, which is Internet of Things, and then trying to connect them to the cloud. So connecting them to the cloud in the sense that we want to get. So this device here is a Wheels terminal. We've been doing. Please go over the GitHub plug and play again. Yeah, sure, definitely I can go over that. So I was saying that before a device, okay, is certified as the Microsoft Azure IoT plug and play compatible, the device manufacturer would have to publish what we call the digital twin definition language for that device. So an example of, so for instance, for the Wheels terminal, right? The manufacturers of Wheels terminal, which is Seed Studio, would have to publish the digital definition properties for the Wheels terminal, which includes the telemetry, which means that when we say telemetry in IoT is what information or data is the device gathering and sending. That's one. And then uh, properties. Okay, what properties can we interact with? Can we modify or update or interact with the device? And then the third part is the command. How can we or what commands can we send to the device for it to respond and do stuff like that? Now, this is actually published in a repository in the Azure IoT Central repository. So let me bring that up. I closed it because I wanted to move on to that, but let me close that. Let me open that again and share that with you. Yes, plug and play devices. Let's open this with Paint. That's crazy to think that So yeah, so DevMax GH from Periscope. So this is it. This is just the flow of how it works. So let's assume, let's say the device developer, let's say in this case, Seed Studio, is has developed the wheel terminal, which we are working on. They would have to publish the device model, all right, to the GitHub repo, which is the Azure IoT plug and play model repository. So this would be the digital twin definition, stuff that contains telemetry, properties, commands, and stuff like that. Once it's here, now down the line, like we're trying to do today, now I buy a Wheels terminal. Now that makes Wheel terminal compatible plug and play device. So now I buy a Wheels terminal and I want to connect it to Azure IoT Central. So I'm going to tell it, hey, IoT Central, I am device with model 001, and device model 001 is the Wheels model from the repository, right? So IoT Central is going to pull that model ID, and now it's going to tell IoT Central, this Wheels terminal can give you temperature, humidity, acceleration, pressure, can give you all this information. And as well, it can also respond to commands A, commands B, commands D. And then IoT Central will now use that to help you connect it to what? To connect your device to IoT Central. Max, Dev Max, did that answer the question? Yeah, you can probably just give me a thumbs up if that, yeah, if that answered your question. So yeah, so that's how it works. So let's close this so we don't have a lot of things running. We can have a smooth sail. So I mentioned that we're going to connect with it using MQTT. All right, we're going to use that protocol to connect with it. So if you want a lot more insight into Azure IoT, I can also give you the links to it. Awesome, welcome, Max. I can give you, the links to that as well. So let's get. And if you want more information about the plug and play as well, I'm dropping that in the chat, so you should be able to get there and get a lot of the information. And these are there are a few devices that have been categorized or classified as how do you call it? Azure certified devices. All right. Actually, let me share this right now. So this is the link to it. I'm also going to share that with you guys so you can go check that out. So these are devices that have been certified, by Azure to be Azure compatible. So from gateways, so you can see here we have Azure certified devices. So if I can use a filter to, filter them, you can see a few of them. So we have things like the good. Let's look at the plug and play devices. As you can see here, actually, let me zoom in here so you can see. So I'm using the filters here on this side. Yeah, I'm using the filters here. Let's make this red. Yeah, so you can see this. Yeah. So I'm using this filter. So I can use the filters here to determine what I want to see, and also the same thing above here. So that's what I want to do. So if you go to the page and you select IoT plug and play devices, it's going to sort by compatible IoT plug and play devices. And if you look into this, there are actually a few of them. All right, you can see quite a number. All right, we have the early care basic, a few of them. There's a number of them. But if you filter at the top here, let's sort by newest, right, and see what happens. So these are kind of like new things. That's cool. I mean, so the list keeps growing. The list keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. So you can see different devices. And look at this. This is our wheel terminal. So our wheel terminal here, as you can see, is Azure IoT plug and play compatible or certified. So there's the wheel terminal here. So there are other, that different devices, and you can even look for sensors that are compatible. You can look for gateways that are compatible and stuff like that, right? So you can go check that out. I've dropped the link in there. You can go check that out. All right. So and yeah, so yeah, and also let me share with you the model as well. So this is the GitHub repository for it, IoT plug and play models, right? So you can see here. Um, and these are tools. These are also tools. They provide you tools that allow you, you know, can see the SDKs and tools that allow you to define, your models. So if you go here and open that up, you can see. So the digital twin definition language, you can see a lot of them. All right. So let's get started. And like I mentioned, we're going to use Azure IoT Central. So This is actually free to use for 7 days, and you can create a free Azure account for a month and get $200, or whichever comes first, and then you can go try this. You can try, you can use a free trial for 7 days, set up an app, and then create stuff. Once you are done, what you're going to do is that you can actually transition or migrate it into a paid subscription or a paid account. But you can try it for free, mess around, and have fun. So let's put it in full view, and let me actually close this out. So just an overview I gave earlier on, as you can see, this is IoT Central, which is a fully managed SaaS platform for IoT. So this is what happened. You get connected, right? You connect your devices, you read, you get inside stuff into it, you can transform and do stuff, and then you can perform some actions. So if you look here, quite simple. We have our devices, our gateways, and then we have our Azure IoT Edge devices all connecting to the IoT Central. And then the cool thing is that you can get insights and use actions, send the data to Power BI. Actually, this is something cool. For those of you that have, for those of you that have been following me for a while, I think you've seen me connect Power Apps, which is Power Apps, Power Platform Power Apps to control the fund. Let's actually go to the bench and let me show you something. So if you've been following me, you've probably seen me do this, actually connect Power Apps to this fund and this siren right here, and then control them from a Power App application. All right. So let's stick to this. Yeah. So we're trying to do something similar here where we can connect stuff like that. Now, what IoT Central provides you is kind of like a boilerplate to easily get started. So if you are in retail, in energy, in government or healthcare, what happens is that you can easily, use these templates to get started. All right. So let's go, and then let's open this up. So we're going to go to build. So from here, let me zoom in so you can see. So once you are in IoT Central, if you look at the top left, you see the hamburger or the three bars. If you click it, that's going to expand it. And then you can select the build. All right, from here, click the build, and then this will allow us to, create a new, start to create a new app or application or project. All right, that we're going to connect this our Wheel terminal to. So I'm going to walk through the process. And again, if you have any questions whilst I'm walking through the process, kindly, ask the question and I'll try to answer it. And if you know me on my show, we do it together, we feel together, we, learn how to do it, and then we appreciate each other. So let's go. So I'm going to click on build. And as you can see, clicking on build here, let me bring it up close, provides me with this option. So here you can see that there are, so you can see that there are options to create an app or to pick from any of this template. So if I go to healthcare, there's continuous patient monitoring, which is pretty much a template created for you that you can select, and it will have all the pre-configured things, and you just have to connect your devices to it and then you're running. You can also do government, which is connected waste management. And actually, I will be showing this in another, this is going to happen in Let's Experiment. I think for those of you that have been following me for a while now, you probably have seen me shown the waste bin a couple of times. So I'll use a similar concept, and then we can connect a very basic waste bin that I have created, connect it to IoT Central, look at the telemetry, and push it into Power Apps. All right. So let's go ahead. We are going to do custom app. So we're going to select the custom app, which is this one right here. So I'll go ahead and click the create app, and it will take me through the process of registering, signing up, and all that craziness. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Put them in the chat. That's why we are here. And if you have any suggestions on setting topics or setting projects you want me to do, please let me know, and then I'll do well to do that or reach out to you so we can check that out. So let's click on create app, and I think this is where I need to have some very nice music in the background, playing stuff like that. Okay, which of the accounts should we use? Okay, let me use this one. And I'm going to enter my super secret. uh, Actually, yeah, let's use that. I think that's the very common one. So let's go ahead. For yeah, and thanks to um, thanks to multi-factor authentication, I need to authenticate this in my app. And funny thing, I was talking this morning to a bunch of friends on Clubhouse, and we're talking about multi-factor authentication. So um, yeah, this is something that's very good for you to do. So I have my phone on the side, so just going through the authentication part of things. So I'm using an account I have already that has an Azure account. That's what I'm using, um, to connect with it. So this is the screen that you see. All right. I need to fill in the application name, choose the tier I want to use. So let me quickly give you some insight to it. So this is it. So there are options. You have the providing the new application, the name of the application. There's a custom URL, the application template here. So I can select the template for which the application is created. So here, that's what I'm saying. If you have a pre-built template like from retail, energy, government, you can select any of those. But because we are doing a custom application, we can specify any. Then the next part will be to select your plan. You see, we have free, we have standard 1 and standard 2. And you realize that this is just, I'm just going to use a try for 7 days with no commitment, and I can connect up to 5 free devices. And that's what I'm going to use. And that's what you can use. All right. So yeah, and pretty much some very basic information out there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to select the free tier. And the application name, let's let's do this. Let's just give it a cool demo. So let's call it, um, let's say let's call it View, View GH, or let's do this. Let's do the, I mean, I'm lost for ideas. Anyone have any sample application name we can use just to make it interactive? I don't want to have it, just me, stuff like that. So let's see. And also being mindful to time. Okay, don't worry. I'll just say, let's do this. Let's do IoT, Tuesday view demo. So realize that it's created a sample, you know, URL for us. And then this is the template's a custom application template. We're using the free tier. And then I'll just go ahead and click create startup project. Thanks, Max. You can use startup project. And yeah, there are lots of devices that are compatible. I think, do I have another one? Blah, 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 blah. Hold on, let's see. I think I have another device that is quite, yeah, I have one here. I have a few of them. I want to believe, I think we can check this. So while we are, okay, so awesome. This is IoT starter. Okay, so this is the screen you see. You have a dashboard, and then here you can see, let's zoom in, you can see your device template, quick start demo, tutorials, documentation. So pretty much, and one of the cool things I like about Azure is that it provides you all this content or this resources for you to then to use. If you look on the left side, you have your devices, your device groups, you can create rules, you can do the analytics, you can look at your jobs, the device template, and the cool thing is you can export the data into any other application and use. And then you have the administration where you can create a dashboard and stuff like that. All right. Now, quickly before we continue, let me take you to the workbench. Now, so this is the NXP, one of the NXP dev boards, also kind of like a rapid type that has sensors and stuff inbuilt. I think this is also Azure compatible. We'll check right now. Then this is the almighty MX chip IoT dev kit, a very popular one. This is the AZ3166. I think there's actually a newer version of this. So this is also compatible. You can also connect this to IoT Central and kind of use it to play and see the information. So if you want to see this in a sub, can I connect another device to IoT Central after the 7-day trial? Yes, you can, but it will need you to convert it to one of the paid subscriptions. So if you already have an Azure account, that gives you the free $200 a month thing. You can actually now convert your IoT, the 7-day free period, to one of those paid ones, and it will work. And if you want to see if you want to see this, how to connect this to IoT Central or do some crazy stuff with it, just leave the comment, in any of the platforms, that's YouTube, Facebook, and stuff like that, and I will try to do this. But today we're going to stick to the video terminal. All right. Okay. So we have this, and now the next thing we're going to do is, now that we have IoT Central, it's pretty much ready. All right. So yeah. Let me actually show you this, Max. What happened? So let me show you this. So you realize that at the top here, when we created, it says that your free trial expires in 7 days. Convert to a paid plan and avoid losing data. So here, I can now make sure that I'm converting my trial, and I can select the subscription that I have, and that works fine. All right. Now that we have IoT Central set up, okay, so now we're ready to connect devices and see the telemetry. The next important thing we need to do is to set up our wheel terminal. All right. So we need to set up the wheel terminal to now connect, how do you call it? To now connect to the to IoT Central. Couple of things we need to do is, we need to make sure that we have an updated firmware. We need to also make sure that we have made sure that the firmware is loaded, and then we can actually go and use some of the a repository that has some codes we can reuse. So for the sake of time, we don't spend a lot of time here. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to use a resource. Let me actually bring this here. Like I said, we're learning together. So let's go here. Yeah, so we need to update. So first, we need to update the firmware. I think we've done this. I think we did this a couple of time ago. So I think our wheels could actually connect to the internet now. So this is it. You need to update the Wi-Fi card on this, because if you're sending the telemetry, you need internet connectivity to send the telemetry out into Azure IoT Central. So that's why it's very important for us to update the firmware. So let's do this. We have to erase the initial factory firmware, and then let's look at what Seed Studio is saying. It says that we only need to erase the factory firmware for the very first time. Afterwards, we can flash new firmware to override the existing one. Yeah, so we can do that. So let's open PowerShell and execute the following commands to download the flashing tool. Let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to open my, actually, let me use my cool, you know what? Let me open this let me open this with admin privileges, so that I can pretty much do a lot of the cool stuff. So I'm going to move this here. So for the sake of this, let me move this out of the way so that we can pretty much see. And this is PowerShell. And one of the cool things I like about this is I can go ahead. I can actually, add an Ubuntu command prompt. I can pretty much use a Windows subsystem for Linux. Really cool. That's something we can talk about, at another time. But I will just stick to this one. All right. So let's go ahead. He wants me to put it. Let me actually go ahead and put it somewhere that and let's move it to, I think, dev IoT So in IoT, let's see what's in there. A couple of things in there. Ah, how did that happen? It has something in there. Interesting. Oh, okay. So let's go out of IoT and let's do this. Let's see IoT dash central, and then let's do IoT dash central. So all I've done here is to actually, so what I did is I created a new folder called IoT Central, and then we just changed repository. We just moved into that directory, and then the code here I can copy. So let me just put this here so we see. This just is asking us to follow the steps. So let me actually copy and share this if you want to follow along right here. So I'm going to move this here, and so you can see what I'm doing and not to bore you with it. So let's go ahead. So the flash tool, so I'm going to copy this and let's do that. Go ahead. So we're going to clone from this repository to the flash tool, and this is going to create it's going to create a new folder. All right, so just be mindful of that. So cloning into this, and once that is done, we can now cd into AMPD underscore flash underscore tool. All right, and if you remember when we started to use the wheel terminal, this is the first time we're going to interact with its Wi-Fi. So it's, and you only do this once, and once you've done this, you can pretty much update it without having to go through this whole steps. All right, so we are in that directory, and yes, we have our wheels connected, and I think we've turned it on. Yeah, so as you can see, it's on here. All right, and then let's go ahead, and it's asking us to execute this command. So because we're in that folder, we are executing AMPD embedded underscore flash underscore tool dot exe, and then erase. What did it say? AMPD. Are we not in that folder? Hold on, let's see. CLS. Let's DR and see what's there. Oh, okay. So flash to the, yeah, that's it. It's here. This is the tool. So AM. Okay. All right. So let's try that again. So AMBD, AMBD, just to be sure. Flash underscore tool dot exe, right? And we are calling erase. The command was not found but does exist in the current location. Windows PowerShell does not load commands from the current location by default. If you try this command, instead type, okay, yeah. All right. So let's do that. So let's do that. So we do the dot backslash just to allow it elevated privileges. AMBD underscore flash underscore tool. So you can load the command, all right? .exe, and then we have erase. And it's loaded, and I just had, okay. So, okay, so, oh, hold on. Let me show you this. Check that out. See what's happening on the, I don't know. Let's see. Let me bring this a bit down. Okay, so that you can, I'm trying to let you see. I don't know if you can see this properly, but hold on. Let's see if I can flip this way. Yeah, so this is actually, that's what is showing up there. Um, yeah, let me see if I put my finger that's going to try to, well, anyway, I need to get a good camera. So what's written there is burn RTL 8206 firmware. So that's happening. All right. So it's actually doing that. Okay, it's actually doing that. It's doing that. It's doing that. Okay, and it's done. So if we look at the screen, so this is what we got. So it went through the whole process. So let me just go up here. So it was just burning it onto it, like, so all images are successfully, and then image to its close. So right now we have successfully updated the firmware. All right. So the second step now is to flash the tool, kind of like to now kind of like the second step is to flash or update it. And to do this, let's zoom this in a bit. So now pretty much we're going to use a similar command, but this time around we're going to use the command flash. All right, then enter, and then again, so something is happening. Let me take you back here, and then again you see that. Let's actually follow the progress here instead. That's more visual, right? So that's happening. That's happening. That's happening. And yep, so that's done. All right. Now, let's see. So there are a couple of, there are a couple of well, we might need to get started with, we might need to install a few libraries. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. But one way to confirm, right? One way to confirm if we have done this well is for us to, um, pretty much run the code in Arduino, all right, in Arduino IDE. So I believe, where is that? Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to open the Arduino IDE, and are you performing an over-the-air type of upgrade? No. So this one is not over the air yet. This one is connecting to a repository, and then pretty much updating the firmware directly. I can do over the air. Now, this, what we're trying to do is update the Wi-Fi firmware on the wheel terminal, so that I can connect the wheel terminal to a Wi-Fi network. And once it's connected to Wi-Fi network, which is internet, I can do an over-the-air upgrade of firmware of the application and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is, let's do a new sketch and close this. So let's bring this here. And I'm going to copy this. So this is a code snippet, including the RPC Wi-Fi. And then this is the baud rate. And then whilst I can read, I just want to see the version of the firmware. So if you look down here, it's connected to the wheel terminal on COM4. So I can verify this by clicking here. It's asking me to save. Actually, let me try uploading this. Well, let's verify this and see what's happening. In the meantime, we need to also update the Seed Studio firmware, right? Yeah. So as you can see, it can't find this it can't find the library we are including, the RPC Wi-Fi. So we need to include that. A simple way to do that is, let's click on Tools in the Arduino IDE, all right, and then go to Board, board. Yes. So let's go to board. What's happening? Okay, so board, and then let's go to the board manager, right? And then in here, it's downloading a couple of updates here. Once that is done, we can actually go search for the wheel terminal. All right. So I can do wheel Let's see. We do the view. Okay, and then you can see, so the seed board is installed. So we have version 1, which is the latest. So if you, I hope you can see this. So that is it. So this is installed. 1.81 is the recent one per the documentation. So this is already installed. We are good to go. And now we need to now install or include the libraries. All right. So to do that as well, again, we can go to Sketch at the top here. All right, and then go to include library. All right, and then you can go to manage libraries. We want to include the library, so we can go to now manage libraries. This is going to open up um, the library manager for us, as you can see here. And then just the same way we did, we're going to search for specific libraries. All right, so let's go ahead and do, so I think this one is seed. Okay, yep, so this is the seed. I hope I've not typed it. I'm not, so SEEED, yeah. So RPCU, right? Let's do the RPCU unified. So RPC unified. All right, that's what I'm searching for. So you should see the seed Arduino RPC unified here, and we need to install versions 2. Okay, so we need to install the latest, right? So this one, if you look at the latest, is 2.13. So let's install it. It's installing, and we need to install. So these are the three ones, the three we need to install. Seed, the seed Arduino or seed RPC, right? RPC unified. We've installed that. We need to do the RPC Wi-Fi. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So remove the unified RPC and type Wi-Fi. And let's see. So there you go. So we see the Arduino. So yes, here again, we install the latest one. Seed Arduino RPC Wi-Fi. We install that. And then we install the embed TLS. So again, I'll just replace that with, just wait for this to finish installing. Okay, so let's go ahead. And then this one will be embed TLS. And this should return seed Arduino embed. Yep, there you go. Let's look for the latest version, install. And then the seed Arduino file system, or FS. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So again, I'll just make it seed FS, and that should easily. So what we're doing is actually including the libraries in the solution. So let's type FS, and then let's see what we have. Seed Arduino, yep, FS, select the version. Well, it looks like version 2. Let's install that. And then we have the last one, seed SFUD. Let's install that. Okay, so FS, this is SF, not FS. So SFUD, that is going to come in. And then, so that will be seed Arduino SFUD. There you go. Let's look for the version. This seems to be the only version. Let's install that. Okay, so with this done, we can actually now try again. So yeah, with all this done, we can verify this again. And I'll just call this, I'll call this view Wi-Fi check. and I'll put this, let's put this in our IoT folder, which is in our dev. And then I think IoT, nope, 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 nope. Actually, yeah, I think this is it. Let's do this. Let's put it here. And then I think I have an IoT folder somewhere. Yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Yep, save it here. Okay, so now that's trying to that'll go ahead and try to check to make sure we have all our libraries, we have everything compatible. And if that works, I can just hit run and open the terminal, sorry, the serial monitor to see if it's printed the version. And once that happens, we know that our wheel terminals Wi-Fi is being installed. And now with the way I'm seeing the time, we have only 5 minutes to go. So this might go into a part two. I'm trying to be mindful of the time. So it doesn't look like we're going to finish this. So we're going to do the part two of the communication. We've seen how to create the IoT Central. We've seen how to set up the Wi-Fi libraries on the wheel terminal. So in next week's episode, we're going to see how to actually now put all the two together using MQTT, sending the telemetry from the wheel terminal into Azure IoT Central. With 4 minutes left, if you have any questions, kindly put them in the comments. Comment if you want to see something specific. Let me know. You can always reach me at whilst that's happening. You can always reach me at hello@sadrany.me. So HELLO at SADRANY.me. So that's actually my website. And please, again, I'm trying to get 1,000+ subscribers so you can grow the channel and get more content. So if this seems like something you really want to do, please subscribe. Ask a friend, tell a friend to join, tell a friend to tell another friend to join. And yes, before I forget, how did I forget this? 26th, which is I think this Saturday, myself and my organizers and friends from the .NET, the Accra.NET user group, we are hosting Mara Nagaga, and she's going to tell us all about .NET Interactive. So if you're someone who is interested in .NET and all the cool stuff, go make sure you've subscribed, you've sign up for it, and cool stuff. So before we go, let's go back quickly here, and you've seen that it's built. So I'm just going to go ahead and push it onto our wheel terminal by hitting this, and this is going to deploy it onto the wheel terminal. And I'll open the serial monitor when that is done, and then you can see. Now, also, once that's happening, it looks like this would be the last IoT Tuesday. Am I sure? No, it won't be the last IoT Tuesday. Hold on. What's today's date? Let's see. Oh yeah, we have one more we have one more. So yeah, we're going to finish this before we move into the next month. That means that there's going to be a giveaway next week. Yeah, last Tuesday for IoT, we're going to have a giveaway. So go watch all the previous episodes because the giveaway is going to show because it's going to call stuff from the previous episode. So yeah, let's go to tools and open the serial monitor. And then look at this. Let me show you this. So now it's telling us we have the RTL firmware version 2.1.2. So now we have an updated firmware installed right here. All right. So we have that done. We have that done. We have that done. Done. We have that done. Cool. So can I connect an MX chip IoT dev kit to an can I connect MX chip IoT dev kit to an IoT device? Your question is not clear, Max. Can you connect the MX chip IoT dev kit, which is the dev kit? Can you connect it to? You mean IoT Central or an IoT device? Can you connect that to another IoT device? Unless, of course, that IoT device is a gateway. If it's a gateway or an edge device, then you can connect it to it. So for instance, if the other device you intend to connect to is a gateway device, then your MX chip IoT dev kit can connect to that device as a gateway in sending telemetry to IoT Central. I don't know if that answered your question. Hopefully it did. Don't forget, subscribe. Ding, 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 ding. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon and I mean, trust me, there's a lot of content coming in that you don't want to miss. So make sure you subscribe, put your question there. And, yeah, shout out to my friends in Japan who are doing a cool stuff with, tracking your gym activities. Really, really awesome. Okay, so you mean, can you remotely connect? Yes, you can. So you remember I talked about the properties. You have properties, telemetry, and then commands. All right. So you can define commands that your MX chip dev kit would respond when those commands come from IoT Central. And that's what I'm saying that, and in a very extreme cases, I can have a power up that is, that a button from power up can actually trigger that command from, and then that will directly come onto the MX chip. So for those who are asking what the MX chip is, I think now it's about, so this one is AZ3166. I think it's about, is it $50? Yeah, this is about $50 currently now on Seed Studio. Actually, let's check it out. Let's check this out. Let's go here. So let's do this. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So yeah, let's check this out. So if you go to aka.ms, it's not ms or ma, and I think it's slash IoT dash dev kit. Yeah, aka, yeah. So if you go there, you should see this and IoT. Yeah, so yeah, IoT tools for VS Code. I think I have installed this, but you know what? Let me actually do this now, because this actually, yeah, and yeah, and if you've not installed this actually a good uh extension that gives you access to that. So let's do get kit and let's see. So the one I have is AZ3166 version 1. Let's see what this one is. This is AZ, yeah. So the same thing, AZ3166. So this is it, yeah. I don't know what this one is. Is it a version 2? Yeah, this is still version 1.0. Yeah, so it's about $42 on Seed Studio. So if you're interested in getting, if you want to get one, and yes, I gave one out to last month or last 2 months winner, which is Max. So Max won one of these kits from going through what was in the mystery shelf back there. I'm trying to get a couple of these in town. So if I get them, fair enough. I'll be doing a lot more giveaways with it. So this kit has onboard security, has a magnetometer, pressure, temperature, humidity, accelerator, and gyroscope. Has an RGB as well. Yeah, it has a couple of things. It has also onboard OLED screen. If I'm trying to get a couple of these in town, if I do, I might give them away on the show, and then also if you want a kit, let me know. Hit me up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit me up or connect with me on my YouTube channel or my Twitter, and then I would. So this is it. I'm trying to get a couple. I'll try to get a couple in there, and also to all my IoT geeks and friends out there, if you have if any of you has stock of this, you don't don't have use for or would want to volunteer to get to me, I'll be very open to taking them as well. So yeah. So with that said, that brings us to the end of today's episode. There's going to be part 2 next week. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you go back to watch all the other videos to see what we do with the Wheels Terminal. We unboxed the NVIDIA Jetson Nano last week. Watch out for series on what we do with them. There's a bunch of NVIDIA learning resources we're going to do. So watch out for that after we're done with View Stamina, but that probably will come on my blog, which is s@journey.me. So go check that out. Well, with that said, with that said, I am out, but very much appreciated for your time. Thanks for joining. If there's any question about IoT or tech in the space, you know who to call, your main man, Samuel Atranyi. Be safe. We've been told that a more dangerous variant of the COVID virus or whatever it is in town. So please be careful. Even if you've been vaccinated, you've taken your 2 shot, it's dicey. So please, let's stay safe out there. If you have any questions, don't forget, you can always reach out to me. Let's make the world a better place. Have fun. And then, hey, I'll catch you on the flip side. Stay safe.